Welcome to Pareto Impact. Today, we're going to be talking about one of my favorites, market dominating position. So, Adam, let me tee you up here. First, what is it?
It's your marketing, right? So think of what the term that everybody uses is called universal selling proposition. And that universal selling proposition is, what do you do? Who do you serve? And maybe not even really how you do it, but it's really just what you do and who you serve, right? And that's good, but you just deliver a universal selling proposition, and this is what we always talk about, right? All you're doing is putting yourself in line with all your competition, right? Oh, you're a plumber.
I can see that.
For residential. Oh, okay. Now I instantly, like if I were to ask you, what do you do? And you say that, I instantly put you in line with every other residential plumber.
Yes, now it's a coin flip. I'm in line with 10 other guys.
Oh, another plumber.
Yeah.
Okay. And so we call it a different name and we approach it differently on purpose. Because
the vision is great.
Yeah, like everybody, when you just do a universal selling proposition, you stop. But what's the real goal? It's to dominate your market. It's to set yourself apart from the competition, so that you want your client saying, "Man, if they're a potential client, I'd be an idiot not to go with them. Oh, they do so much more. Oh, that's really what I want, right?
Love it."
So yeah, that's what market dominating position is in general. It's how to do that.
One of the ways I like to summarize it is it's the differences that matter. Okay.
Exactly.
Well, I'm a plumber. I've got a truck. Oh, I should hope so. That's one of the things you use a lot. I should hope so. I have a wrench. I should hope so. I have this. I should hope so. So if it passes the I should hope so test, that means you are not onto market dominating position.
Yeah. And you're right. That's what we're saying, right? So a universal selling proposition versus a market dominating position. How can we tell the difference? Is that test? It's well, I hope so. Well, that's a work in progress. You need to keep working on it. Where you want them to say, "Man, I'd be an idiot not to go with them."
Yeah. Wow, that's awesome. All right, let's take a moment. The next question I want to ask is, why does this make our Impact 20 list?
Yeah, so that top 20% of things that you need to, when you steal away time in your business to work on, this is it. So many times we see bigger businesses, right, who, they think that they can't do this work until they get hit a certain point. And then they drop 50 to 70,000 on a marketing ad campaign or something like that. And what they get is very generic verbiage and copy in that ad.
Yeah.
And, and this isn't the fault of the marketing firm, right? I don't want to blame them or anything, because ultimately it's always the fault of the business owner, right?
Yeah.
You're responsible of everything. But this is the work that they never put in, and they tried to outsource it. Well, what's cheaper? Hiring a guy to work the front counter so you can go work on your marketing, or spending $70,000 to have somebody else build the most crucial part of your business?
Yeah, one of the ways I look at, whether something makes our top 20, percent list is how often are people skipping it? If it's stuff that everybody's doing, even if it might be really important, yeah, but you're doing it. I want to help you on the things that you aren't doing or not doing that are really hurting you.
And nobody's doing this.
Yeah, awesome answer. So let's take a moment and tell me, what is the real work? What does the process flow look like? And what is the nitty gritty of what they're not doing?
Yeah, and the people we work with, they're not marketing firms, right? They're not comfortable writing good ad copy, and they don't have to with this. That's a key. And so the way I explain it is, if somebody were to walk up to you and they were to say, "Hey, what do you do?" How could you respond in a way that, if that is a potential client, piques interest, right? And so, and then if you get the interest, they respond, "Well, how do you do that?" And you can tell them. But let's back up. The first step really is identifying what is the problem that your clients have, what's the problem they have that they don't want, or what's the result they want but don't have. And so with
almost like that start of like any product launch, right? It's like you look at a shelf and you see something missing. What's not happening, you know? And then if I'm hearing you right, and it's pushing the boundaries, so that's the starting point. But all your competitors are loosely doing that same thing, trying to fill that same spot on the shelf. So then what you got to do is you got to push past and say, okay, why am I choosing you off the shelf instead of somebody else?
Yeah, I mean, and surprisingly, so many times business owners think they know the reason why people want something, a service, or anything, but they're actually missing the reason. And so, what we always recommend is go and talk to your clients, find the real problem that they have of why they're coming to you. It's not I want a home remodeler, right? It's that my kitchen is not functional right now. It looks shabby. I want to be able to host bigger parties with people. I want my kitchen to be a place for people to gather, right? And so that's the real reason why people hire somebody to remodel
Sales
their
101,
kitchen.
right? They're just not.
Sales 101 is identify what they want, and then you give it to them. That's it. And so that's actually the work of that market dominating position, is saying what's the real problem they have, so that you can talk about the problem and not your company or things they don't care about.
It's a great point. Let me carry on this a little bit. Let's go a little bit deeper. Tell me what a perfect, vision, what does success look like, in a market dominating position?
Yeah. So, back to, we kind of Quentin Tarantino'd it. We started at the end and then we went to the pre-work and now we're going back to it. And so when somebody asks you, what do? You want to answer that. I am somebody who solves this problem in this field, in this industry. And then they're like, wow, actually, I do care about that. How do you do it? And then you can tell them, kind of that the outline we always use is, hey, I saw this problem in the industry that wasn't being solved for clients. It was mission critical for them. And so we came in and created our business a little differently so we could address that problem.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And so that that entire process allows you to target in on the problem that your clients have, and then also show how you do it differently than everybody else. And now you're no longer competing with other plumbers or whatever it is, because you're the only one who's ever spoken to the client and actually been, a solution.
Absolutely. All right, let's end with this one. What are some of the, maybe top 3, top 5 common mistakes that people are doing out there with their market dominating position or lack of?
Yeah. So, number 1 is not doing the research to find out what the real problem is. So many times we see people not, thinking they know what the problem is. And then once they do the research, they're like, holy cow, this isn't even why people choose me over other people. And then the second is, 1, not going far enough, not doing the true work to get people to ask.
Not differentiating far enough.
How do you do that, right? The final, it's tied for 2, right? The final one is not sending that message through to everybody in your organization. If it's just you, easy. If it's you and another guy, it's a lot of work.
I see that all the time. Lack of expectation training and passing along on the message.
If this is going to be your promise that you give to all your clients, that you're going to solve this problem better than anybody else, guys in the field or gals in the field need to know that so that they can execute on it and fulfill it.
Yeah, you can see how it would always be more important that they understand it.
Well, and
the guy behind the ivory tower, that doesn't matter.
Yeah, and your entire flow needs to be pointing back to it again and again, because that was the motivating factor that made them choose you. I always say you got to get credit for what you do. So you keep reminding them that you did it. And then finally, the last one is really an attachment of that. The owner doesn't even use their market dominating position. They write it up and then they still fall back on the old thing, which is, I'm a plumber, work does residential. And it's like, no, practice it, do it, because it does work.
Yeah.
And if, don't let your ego or your fear get in the way of your business. And so that's the final one.
Awesome, man. I really appreciate you taking us on that journey, Adam. I know this is one of the things that's near and dear to you, that you really champion a lot. So thank you everybody for coming along on this journey. Hopefully you learned a little bit about USP and market dominating position, how to dominate. Be great.